Alright everybody, Master here again, this time with My Hero Academia, chapter 248. I just got done rereading last week's and it was really cool. I liked it. No real action, but basically it was just Deku, Todoroki, and Bakugo talking to Endeavor. And Endeavor was like, alright, you three are with me, I'm going to take you guys seriously, but first I need to get to know you a little bit, essentially. Pardon me, what are you trying to achieve? And he asks Deku first. And Deku, long-windedly, as usual, as for him, explains that he can't use all of his power at once. He wants to be able to use his power, while moving without it limiting his movements or hurting him. And he wants to be able to do all of that. And he explains his new Air Force attack where he's essentially he's basically doing a Might Guy, punching the air and sending air blasts at people, or kicking probably. And he shows his black whip, although he only can get a couple inches out of his knuckle. And he explains that he's been working on something where he can temporarily boost his power for a moment for the attack and then release. But all of this, just hit myself, wow. But all of this stuff is like too much for him to handle at once. His mind just can't react to everything that he's trying to do, so he wants to master that. I guess that was kind of long-winded as well. And it was funny, the sidekick lady, I've never known her name. I just was like, wow, too long, I'm not understanding. And Todoroki's like, oh, he analyzes himself too, and Bakugo's like, shut up. But Endeavor totally got it. I was like, oh, okay, so you were trying to master how to do all this simultaneously. Okay, cool. And she's like, whoa. So then he asks Bakugo, and Bakugo's like, I'm already the strongest as far as my quirk. I'm here to find out what I don't have. What is it that makes other people able to beat me even though I'm the strongest? Basically is his mindset. And he's like, I'm here to find out what I don't have. And Endeavor's like, well, this kid. Alright. And then Endeavor goes to turn around without even asking Todoroki, and Todoroki's like, hey, listen, I assume you think I'm here because I'm your son and this is about to be some father-son thing and I want your flash fire. He even said, you're here to master my flash fire. And Todoroki's like, no, I'm here because I like All Might and I want to be like All Might. And the path to that is this. Don't think I'm here to have this heart-to-heart that I'm using you for my own gain, alright? But inside he also seems to be thinking, like, I do want to see where this goes, where he is, what he's like as a father. So then the four of them walk out and just into the street, and they just start walking around, and Endeavor is explaining, like, there's rescue, evacuation, and combat, and most agencies just focus on one. They're hyper-focused. He says, we do all three. We're not picky. You got to know your surroundings. You got to know your turf. You got to know everything. And you got to be able to attack people quickly. You got to get there first. You got to be the most powerful, and you got to handle the situation. If civilians get too close, give them a little heat. Keep them back. Like he's just like, this, we're going. And then Deku's like, this is essentially the multitasking that I was looking for. So we're already getting hints of how they're going to develop. So it's pretty cool. So we're going to get into it now. Chapter 248. We open up with Suru. I don't remember her name, but that's the third of the big three in Ochako. The Ryuku team is also out on a mission. Chapter 248, one by one. And we got Deku, and he's using full cowling. It's not as though I wasn't rushing. Deku embarks on his second internship. He's jumping around, Bakugo's down below him. I received my quirk when I was 14. While everyone else was testing the limits of their new abilities, I was still learning the fundamentals. After learning how to control one for all with my full cowl, I forced myself to learn how to use it subconsciously. Listen up, kid. And this is the Black Whip dude in his memory now. Listen up, kid. From here on, you're going to develop 6 more quirks. Wow. Deku just looked... And we got some guy on a motorcycle. I've got to hurry up and master them all. Oh, the dude on the motorcycle is approaching a turn and boom, gets taken out by fire. Ow, 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 ow. And gets apprehended. The hit and runner has been apprehended. And then Endeavor, looks like you three were too slow. Todoroki's not even in the picture. It's just Deku and Bakugo. Oh, there's Todoroki behind the two of them. Buzz off. It just takes me time to warm up in the winter. Hey, Bakugo, did you notice? That's Todoroki. And then Bakugo, are you saying there's something you noticed that I didn't? Go on, enlighten me. And then the sidekick dude, hey, he's so petty. Todoroki says, he was shooting fire from his feet whenever he accelerated. I'm not sure if you saw or not, but the jet burn he used back in his fight at Kyushu is most likely done by compressing those flames to heighten his acceleration. Oh, he's yelling about Endeavor. I can tell since I have the same quirk. Controlling the heat necessary to reach speeds that fast is a monumental task. And then Bakugo says, yeah, it's a total rip-off of my explosion. Are you saying it took you until now to realize that? And Todoroki says, yeah, sure, I suppose you could call it a rip-off. And then Endeavor says, by the way, in case you three haven't already noticed, that path opens up into the main road. And then the sidekick dude, you can leave this guy to us. After all, it's pretty rare to see him teaching anyone besides Shoto-kun. And Deku says, oh, I see. And then all three of them start running, and he just says, dash on the ground. We'll catch up to you later. And then Deku says, you were cutting off his escape route with your flames. And Endeavor, during my fight in Kyushu, I was able to split the work with Hawks, but a true hero must be someone who is able to handle every role on their own. Also, for the record, I noticed the glass villain's helpers before you did. Got it? Bakugo says, you're so damn petty. Deku's like, Kachan. Bakugo, you said you wanted to learn what you couldn't do, right? And Bakugo looks at him. I'll admit that your mobility is top-notch. Well, for a rookie at least. But as you are right now, you will never be able to surpass me. Bakugo's pissed. And Endeavor says, this winter might just be training. But if you're too slow, you won't be able to use your normal excuses anymore. And Bakugo is real mad. He's gritting his teeth. Endeavor lands, says, this is not a classroom. If you're ever too slow, you won't be losing points. As all the three of them land behind him. But rather human lives, as he lands and stops a truck from hitting two people in a crosswalk. Good job, Endeavor. The three kids were not close enough. They all looked shook. Shoto, Bakugo, for the time being, I'm giving you both the same assignment. Bakugo says, why am I always grouped together with this guy? And Todoroki says, I suppose it's related to acquiring flash fire. And Endeavor says, storage and release, the condensation of power. The ability to momentarily draw forth your maximum power, or alternatively, the ability to focus your power on a single point. Practice as many times as it takes until you can achieve one of those two without even having to think about it. Deku wants that too. Deku says, Kachan, that's pretty much the core concept of your AP shot. Yeah? And Bakugo says, why the hell do you know the core concept of my moves? Stay away from me. I love Bakugo, man, for real. And I don't know what that is in the sky, but there's some glimmering thing in the sky. Endeavor says, Shoto, you're already halfway to achieving both. First, let's work on focusing your power. Try taking your mental image of shaping your ice and applying it to your fire. Deku, you're already capable of momentarily drawing forth your maximum power. Let's see. And he eats something? Oh, they're just eating. They're just snacking. Okay. So they're just snacking on a roof, standing over the roof, looking at the city. They're not sitting or chilling. They're just like observing and eat, observe. All right, shit. Deku's like, yes, sir. Can you do it subconsciously? I can with my full cow, but for my Air Force, I still have to think about it. And Endeavor says, in that case, your first step will be to learn to use Air Force subconsciously. Forget about your secondary ability for now. And Deku says, but to do that, I need to learn how to think in parallel. And then we got a shot of Bakugo and Todoroki just looking over at him. And then a shot from behind Endeavor's head. Listen up. Everyone on Earth is already capable of parallel processing on a daily basis, and subconsciously, too, to boot. Just look at that guy yawning and driving at the same time. Just a shot of some dude in a car. It's not like he's always known how to drive. Steering, acceleration, braking, processing what's ahead of and behind him at all times. He's right. He learned each of those one by one, then practiced until he could do them all together subconsciously. Deku's like, oh. And then Endeavor continues, start by learning to do two things together subconsciously. When you're done with that, add on a third. No matter how strong or powerful an ability may be, that power is built on a foundation of smaller parts, stacked on top of each other one by one. And Deku is like, oh, and he's even envisioning looking at All Might. Interesting. And then I think this is still Endeavor continuing. Sure, there may be exceptions, but for the rest of us, so he's thinking of All Might. He says, there may be exceptions, but for the rest of us, growing one step at a time is the only path forward. At least, that's the only path I know. Another shot of the three. Even if you practice the same abilities, the experience you'll be gaining here is worlds away from what you've gained at school. It's just a big Endeavor chapter. Just him, the monologuing. Endeavor, cool shot from behind him with the fire. Take the power you fostered at school, and now, at the agency of the number one hero, make that power your own. And then, I'm not so sure what this is. About 1.5 years ago, I was entrusted with... Okay, so this is now Deku thinking. About 1.5 years ago, I was entrusted with all too much power by All Might. Since enrolling... Yeah, it was. Since enrolling in UA, I've gained a lot of experience. And now, it looks like I'm about to be dragged forwards at a blinding speed. But, my fastest possible speed, and then we got Endeavor. Fail as many times as you need to. Whether the three of you succeed or fail, it will have zero effect on my work as Endeavor. Wow. And then Deku says, one by one. And he like clenches his fist. That's a bold statement, but I'm sure that statement pissed off Bakugo. 1 week later, a shot of a house. Oh, this is Endeavor's house. Ah, hello, father? I heard you're working with Shoto right now, and that he's together with his friends. Why didn't you tell me? I was so surprised when I first heard the news, and Endeavor's just listening on the phone. In any case, I was thinking with school starting again soon, it'll be hard to get any time together, so... Oh, this is the... Oh, they were with this lady just before. I don't know her name. It's Todoroki's sister. Why don't you bring everyone over to our place? I'll make the best dinner you've ever seen. An unexpected proposal from Todoroki's sister. Boom. Chapter 248 end. We will be on break next week. My Hero Academia will resume in issue 50. So, that was, as much as that was just Endeavor monologuing, I loved it. I loved last chapter getting the analysis of what they want, and I love this chapter, Endeavor actually taking the time to break the stuff down for him, be like, this is what you're going to do, this is what you're going to do, this is why. It was cool. I liked it. Endeavor is a prick, but he's a good-ass hero. He knows his shit and he knows what to do, and he's a legit hero. I mean, no one really better to learn from, I guess. I mean, All Might can't really use his power anymore, so he can teach, but Endeavor can show. It's pretty cool. I hope he kind of comes around to be cooler, kind of Nozel-like. That would be cool, because I want to like him, but I want to not like him at the same time. But really cool chapter. I mean, interested to see where we go next week now. We skipped a week, so how long is the winter thing? Like, are they already almost over? We might have... We're almost done already, so interested. We're obviously gonna have this dinner. Things could get awkward at the dinner. I wonder if it'll. It said bring everyone, so Bakugo and Deku are gonna be there. It could get weird, but I'm interested to see what they develop from this stuff. Cause Deku's gonna be so OP when he masters all this stuff. Even just adding Black Whip alone would make him OP, but. It's going to be crazy. This was a really cool chapter. I really enjoyed it, and I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as me. And we're unfortunately going to miss next week. So in 2 weeks, I'll see you then.